Today I shall be discussing about some advanced techniques which are commonly used for solving the geotechnical and foundation problems. Before going to discussion of main issue, I am interested to add a few lines of some famous geotechnical expert, because an overwhelming majority of job no more than a simple forecast is needed. If such forecast cannot be made by simple means, it cannot be made at all. Which implies that basically we have to solve our foundation and geotechnical problem with very simple approach. Basically, we know that there are two type of failure of foundation soils or rock, whatever it may be. First is shear failure, and next one is settlement failure. These are the major governing failures. There are two other additional failures, and these are punching failure and local slice failure, and these are very rare cases, not always happen in every project site. In case of hills or sloping ground, soil slip and slides failure also prominent. This failure pattern can megascopically determined at the site during compression or shear test. In a word, shear failure is more dangerous than settlement failure, because shear took place all of a sudden, while settlement failure gives ample opportunity to tackle the situation. But why we do not know, we are always afraid of settlement failure only. We are ignoring the complexity of the shear failure. We should very much be serious about shear failure only. During my long and young age, one of my reverend professor once said, workmanship has a main role in engineering and construction. He had casually also said that in Kashmir Valley more than 50% of buildings are designed by ordinary skilled workmen, which we are generally known as mason, and rest 50% are well designed by engineers. But buildings constructed by masons are completely safe for more than few decades. It implies that the improper design or overloaded structure with good workmanship is much better than a well-designed or normally loaded structure with poor workmanship. But what I personally see, we do not concern about workmanship at site, or we are least concerned about workmanship. I am going to discuss some advanced technique. Before that, we must give appropriate attention to time effect. Time is an essence of any and all construction. There are tremendous development in construction technology to minimize the time effect for quick productivity, because productivity is profit. We say we are constructing a marketplace, normally required it say 4 years, but if we can construct it within 2 years, that means it will give us production more than 2 years. So that will be our profit. This is economy. Economy in time is essence of all construction. In the field of geotechnical engineering also, a lot of new ideas have been introduced to save time and money both. Earlier, when I was young, economy was based on construction materials, construction cost, and execution cost only. Importance of productivity was not at all considered. But in the present trend, economy includes execution cost, establishment cost, gain in quick productivity. Developed countries had already adopted the advantage of latest modernization of construction technology. In the field of geotechnical engineering, much of such new ideas have popularly been aimed in America, Germany, China, Korea, Australia, and many more developed countries. You see, normally what happens at site, if we go for geotechnical investigation works, right from sampling to laboratory testing and complete interpretation of test results, it will take about 1.5 months, or even if it is a big project, then it is 2 months, 3 months, like that. But there is some type of structures which are founded at say about a depth of 2 meter or 3 meter, like that. In those type of structures, we can estimate the required design parameters such as density, void index, SBC, settlement, etc. by conducting dynamic plate load tests as per ASTM 2835 using the kinetic energy principles. In this test, first we have to make an excavated pit up to a proposed depth of foundation, where we shall place the plate perfectly horizontal, and this instrument consisted of a drive weight. It will fall down from a specific height, and there shall be deflection of the plate, and with that we can calculate it, the SBC unit weight, that is soil density, percentage of compaction, and everything. This instrument give first EBD. First is give it EBD. EBD means it is soil resilience, the load absorbing capacity. From this load absorbing capacity, we can convert it to force. We can, that is, velocity is 2g root over 2gh. We know the height, we know the g, and by using the impact velocity, we can calculate accordingly. Now we know the plate size, and accordingly the kinetic energy is half mv square. So we get this much. And then force, we can calculate it considering the deflection of the plate. With the help of deflection, we can calculate. From there we can calculate the strain and elastic modulus and shear modulus, we can calculate it. And with that load, with applying safety factor, we can calculate it, the shape bearing capacity. So see, this another procedure is very simple procedure. When there is a foundation soil appears to be unsuitable for construction purposes, that means having very low bearing capacity in some cases, in especially in northeastern India, in some cases the top portion, say about up to 3 meter or 4 meter like that, these are very soft and compressible, because it is a high water table zone. NER region except the hills, rest are alluvial soil where water table is close to the ground level, so soils are become oversaturated and existing overburden generally resisted by poor water pressure only. In such cases, normally most of the people they prefer to go for pile foundation. But pile foundation not only economically costly but also time consuming. In such cases, we can replace the bed material. The worst soft soil was there, we had excavated it and we backfilled it with some good material, which is IS also has suggested. Indian Standard also suggested the best method is replace the bed material with some good material, and we rolled it. We rolled it up to 95% of the Proctor density. We rolled it, and over there we have conducted, we are getting 18 ton per meter square load. While in case of it was pile foundation, then our time will be very consuming, very high time will be required, and at the same time cost will be much higher than this simple backfilling. So simple backfilling is a very good procedure. And in this picture you see, normally what we did, normally our backfill, foundation backfill, we generally dump some excavated material and allowed to consolidate it and compaction naturally. Rain will be coming in once about 6 months. Rainfall will be there in northeastern region. So after 2-3 years, this will be 70-80% natural compaction will be there. But instead of that, another problem is what happened. Another problem is, although we do not consider the friction of the foundation, side friction of the foundation, which is most important when in SBC analysis depth factor correction we apply. Depth factor means it is frictional resistance provided by the foundation surface of which is connected with the soil. This soil will give some surface resistance. For that only we can go for depth factor correction, which is giving about 10 to 15%. DC and C and Q and DQ, D gamma, we are considering this about 10 to 15%. This is additional. Although there is a notice was there in IS 6403, we are considering that the backfill is done with the same material with proper compaction. Yet we did not pay proper attention to proper backfilling. In this project, this is a very mega project, very big project. Entire Guwahati water supply will be done from this project only. So in this project, what we did, we backfilled with Brahmaputra sand mixed with kasar dust. Kasar dust, we are adding kasar dust because kasar dust particles are very hard and individual particles have sufficient weight. Since the density of the rock is more than 2.6, 2.7 like that, so that should be easy for compaction and also consolidation. With this type of compaction and this type of construction give you additional benefit of developing skin surface resistant to the side of the foundation walls, which will be other safety for our structure. Here you see we are using this compactor, art compactor. It is a 5-tonner art compactor. There is a plate. With this plate, just rolling 2-3 times, it is more than 95% compaction is there. So earlier what happened, people will be ramming using some rammer, people will be ramming. But since time is a sense and time gives up earning, so we use these things only. Mechanized art compactor. You see, we can check this instrument using this instrument. It is initial layer, it is 93.98, say it is 94% proctor density compaction, and then it is good, more than 90% it is good, and it is EBD is coming 14.93 Newton per millimeter square. It is soil resilience. Soil resilience means it is load absorbing capacity. So under this we are getting these things. Another short cut, of course it is not advanced nowadays. Earlier electrical lithologging was also there, but those system was used for only earthing purpose, grounding system design analysis only. This is electrical resistivity meter. With this electrical resistive meter we can take, you can see, this is the curve. This is the curve. It was recorded, but after using this resistivity, there are this program itself, some points deleted and some points there are making some modification. It is manufacturer developed this software automatically. It is in this way. More the resistivity, less the voids. You see here up to these things 1 meter, the soil is very poor. Virtually there is no resistance at all. The void is too high. Soil is oversaturated. Gradually it is from 2 meter onward, soil resistivity are quite higher, gradually becoming it higher. So that means the soil void index, void ratio of the soil, say it is about 3 meter, it is quite good. This means the soil has a tendency of increasing strength with the depth. So when we calculate the SBC of this soil, if we are going to provide a 2 meter depth below the ground level, we have to consider at least 2B of these voids. So less the voids, settlement will be less. More the voids, settlement will be more. So accordingly we know the void indexes. In such cases, if we conduct one dynamic plate load test here at 2 meter, we are sure that the plate load test results will be valid under all conditions, since the void is decreasing gradually. The resistivity is increasing gradually, void is decreasing gradually. Less the void, resistivity shall move. So that means our 2 meter results shall hold good for perfect design and analysis of the structure. Instead of making huge expenditures, we can conduct this electrical litholog for ascertaining the voids, and as we are considering that the void has the direct relationship with the shear strength and consolidation parameters, so we can, considering that assumption, we can go for foundation design based on the test results getting at 2 meter. So which generally require say about 2 months, that can be done by within a day. Now you see, in case of construction technology, there are normal earlier procedure where we have used some concrete tubes for crushing strength. But when generally in northeastern region we are generally using PPC cement, not OPC cement we are using PPC cement, Plozonic cement. The setting time of this PPC cement is quite high. It requires even 2 months and even little more. But our code says that the targeted strength of the cube should be confirmed on 28 days. There are few other conditions. The temperature shall be 27 degrees. But in northeastern region, say Sikkim, Gangtok, Shillong, Nagaland, in all these places, winter season, especially in winter season, the temperature is less than 27, 6 to 10 degree. And so we cannot get the proper strength. And code has recommended for coring. But this N-type hammer, this ND-test N-type hammer, there is a 10 series of strokes. With that strokes, there are some standard also, Chinese standard, Russian standard, ASTM standard. If we using ASTM standard, this N-type hammer shall give us the report which I have personally verified that it is about 10% variation is there. Not more than 10%. 10% variation is there. And we are in actual fact, we are considering 60% of the strength only. There are 40% surplus in our hand. So if 10% difference is there, we should not worry. When it will be total strength will be developed, that automatically it became much more. Today I am getting, say it is 10 Newton per millimeter square. After 1 year we shall get it 15. So during time period the setting shall be perfect and there shall be increase in strength. So it can give us less time consuming information which is best suited for verifying all and everything. Instead of core, when I will be going for a core in a beam or column, finally we have to go for epoxy backfill, epoxy concreting, and there may be some untoward happenings may be there. So to avoid all that thing, this is best. There will be marked difference of 10% only, while you are keeping 40% extra, so it will not create any major problem. These are this. You see, there are 10 records. 10 records. Out of these 10 records, only this one record, only average was taken. Not only average, it is average means it is plus 2 by divided by 2, again plus 2 divided by 2. Very repeated calculations are made by the program, and finally it has been recorded. So N-type hammer has an advantage in this type of Another is actually what happened. Our India is technically developing day by day. Today, what we are using, tomorrow, that has been changed. Especially in equipment foundation, say transformer, breaker, reactor, this type of lot of equipments are there. We are required to change one transformer, electrical transformer. We have old size was different and new size there is a slight variation of the new size. Because you all know the mechanical engineering is very precision engineering. A fraction of a millimeter of some nut and bolt, if variation is there, that cannot be fitted properly. So we cannot compromise with the precision, especially in mechanical engineering. In civil engineering or geotechnical engineering, in the name of safety factor, we can easily make little plus minus something, 1%, 10% plus minus we can do it. But in mechanical engineering, we cannot compromise with the products. So you see, it is a picture of a powerhouse. They sending power to lot of other places, and they are by transmission they are earning quite huge amount per hour. And if we require to change one small equipment, we have to remove the earlier foundation. Some people prefer to break down something, but I do not suggest for breaking the foundations, because in case of breaking by jackhammering or by other means, there may be some hair-like cracks which in future may produce leaching and weathering effect in the concrete mass. And and in case of removing the foundation and constructing a new one, that will also sufficient time. That will at least 1 month. 1 month breakdown means a powerhouse shall lose in terms of crores and crores of money. Because without electricity nowadays nobody can survive. And basically they are supplying power. If they cannot supply the power, there will be tremendous loss. Long back, one gentleman has calculated 1 hour breakdowns means it is 1 crore minimum. So, to avoid that breakdown, we can complete the foundation making by core drilling. In these places we are drilling here as per requirement of our hole sizes, and making some extra arrangement, and finally we are fixing it using epoxy concrete. Epoxy concrete means gravel, 50% gravel mixed with epoxy. It will be very strength, gives us up to 70 Newton per millimeter square. It became so hard, and within 2 hours we can fix. Without breaking the foundation, there shall not be any hair-like crack within the concrete mass, and just in original place we just using some mechanical device we can pull the machine and placed here, just we can bolt it. So using this, the setting time of epoxy grout is 2 hours only, with a minimum strength of 50 Newton per millimeter square, and in case of using 25% to 50% gravel, then it is the strength increases 70 Newton per millimeter square. Time required for rebolting of equipment today's where traditional method of breaking old foundation construction, now new foundation is 2 months, which I was already said. Partial breaking of old foundation more often produces some hair-like cracks, which is long term reduces the concrete strength and quality as well. These hair-like cracks also generate corrosion of steel and leaching of concrete mass, mainly due to humid climate of northeastern region. Time saving is windfall for quick productivity. Loss of tariff and establishment cost of 2 months is much higher than the epoxy grout. During breaking operation, adjacent foundation more often also be affected. It was observed at 400 kV substation at Sulakati, where extra precautionary measures were required. Normally, if we break the foundation, old foundation, adjacent foundation will be affected, because there will be during breaking, during demolishing of the old foundation, there will be some vibration. That vibration shall be produced to soil, and soil shall make some vibratory forces which shall affect the adjacent structure. To avoid all this method is very much useful. I suggest you all to take simple method which is time saving and efficient. Thanking you all. Please have a very nice day.